cars are heading out for the second race in the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. Steve Daly, race one winner, starts on pole position. Further back down the field, keep an eye out for Wayne Flint. He's changed his car from race one due to an engine blow-up. It's going to be exciting to watch. It's over to Andy to take you through the race.
Thanks very much. Well, the final race of the season is always a highlight of the year. It usually is a championship that goes out with a bang, this one. Let's see what happens on this occasion. Daly and Griffiths then on row one with Parks and Jones row two. Mikey Doble and Ollie Fowler share the third row ahead of Will Davison and Paul Maguire, with Rhys Claydon and Ben Huntley to round out the top 10. The grid for race number two is decided by the result from race number one, so it's a pretty familiar look to the front of the field. A couple of interesting names further back there. Luke Browse only 20th. Gavin Sedge makes his first appearance alongside Richard Sutherland. They share the 13th row of the grid. Sarang Sothasrari gained some ground in the first race. He'll be looking to continue that in race two, and keep an eye to Dave Chapman towards the back of the field as well, and John Attard, two relatively rapid drivers, both failed to finish in the previous race. So Wayne Flint then, coming from 36th on the grid, he's another interesting one, trying to challenge Mark Skeets for this Masters Championship. Skeets in Tim Scott Andrews' old car and starts from 14th on the grid. The lights go out then for the final time in 2019. We're away in racing. A good start made by Daly from pole position, and here comes Ian Jones around the outside of Tom Griffiths and Ben Huntley. The sparring partners from the previous race have got Ian Jones trying to go around the outside of them into Redgate corner. Parks has gone second, and it looks like Griffiths might just fend off Ian Jones for third place. Through goes the midfield pack. Phil Adcock again finds himself on the outside line through the first turn. They're all through safely, then back down the hill. Daly leads the way, then Parks, Griffiths and Jones, so it's a similar order at the front to the one we saw in the early stages of race number one. Then it's Mikey Doble and Will Davidson going up the inside there of Ollie Fowler a bit further back. But it looks as though Matt Parks has something to show Stephen Daly in this race. He's all over him as they go up the hill, and wanting to try and get another race victory here, get one over on the champion-elect. And the outside goes Rhys Claydon there, fighting away with Guy Davis, I think that is, isn't it? And then Keith Towers goes up the inside of him. David May behind, two of the early season Masters Championship favourites, before both of them had a bit of a mid-season trouble. Stephen Daly, though, is not getting away here by any stretch of the imagination, really having to defend now from Matt Parks, who has a look up the inside, down into the chicane at the end of the opening lap. Don't think he's going to make that one stick, though. Daly just about has enough to fend him off. So it's going to be Daly that leads the opening lap, then Parks in second, third for Keith Towers. For Tom Griffiths, excuse me. Keith Towers a little bit further down the order, but he's making forward progress, and here goes Matt Parks up the inside of Daly for the race lead as they go towards Redgate corner. And if he's late enough on the brakes, he should be able to make it stick. We're on board with Stephen Daly now. The three-time champion has to concede the race lead, though, to Matt Parks as they head through Redgate corner once again. That was a really nice move there. Parks got a good exit from the final chicane, and Daly didn't really cover the inside. That was an opportunity too good for Matt Parks to pass up, so he goes through into the lead of the race then, with Stephen Daly now having to do some overtaking for the first time all weekend long. Through the old hairpin, it's a bit wide there, does Daly actually, in second place. Matt Parks then, can he pull away? Well, that's doubtful. It's hard to pull away in this championship at the best of times, especially when you've got someone like Stephen Daly right on your tail. Stephen will be applying the pressure now, trying to find a way ahead of Matt Parks if he can. Ian Jones there up the inside of Tom Griffiths for third. And Ian won't ever be backwards in coming forwards, regardless of whether the championship can still be won or not. He's still going to be pushing on for a good result here. Mikey Doble there with Will Davison going around the outside of him as well. So 2 by 2 they come through Coppice corner, almost leaning on each other slightly there. The lead two are Parks and Daly. They're getting away, but it's Ian Jones and Tom Griffiths side by side for third place now. Griffiths on the outside, Jones on the inside line, trying to nose his way in front as they hit the brakes, which he does. So he goes third. Who gets fifth? Will it be Doble or Davidson? It's Doble that gets into the chicane ahead. Some brilliant battling again here in the early exchanges of this BMW Compact Cup race, the final round of the championship in 2019. Aborted overtake there for Will Davison, costs him momentum actually down the pit straight, so Paul Maguire now pulls alongside him to the outside line. Paul Maguire, can he go through into the position? Not quite, I don't think. He won't go right around the outside, but he might be able to actually carry some good speed off the corner that way. Brave to try and run around the outside through the first part of the Craner curves. Is that what Maguire's going to be able to do, though? that's going on. Tom Griffiths is coming back at Ian Jones. Look at this for bravery, side by side through the grain of curves. But Jones has the inside line for the old hairpin, gets into the corner in front. They're both going to slide out wide though. Oh, off to the grass goes Tom Griffiths, wide over the curves for Jones. And so Mikey Doble gets a run on the pair of them. He goes past Griffiths, who is still having a moment as he rejoins the circuit at Starkeys. What order did they get themselves into though? Is Mikey Doble into third place? He is. He's ahead of Ian Jones. And Mikey Doble, looking for his first ever podium in the championship, has got himself ahead of the man who's second place in the championship overall. And that was a brilliant reading of the situation there for Mikey Doble. He saw that they were going to run out wide and just hung back, let them have their moment, and then slithered straight past the pair of them. Jones, though, is trying to come back at him now down the exhibition straight. They're all stacking up behind them, look, and it's side by side again for third place. Paul Maguire ducking and diving in the mirrors as well. Tries to make it 3 wide into the chicane. That was never going to work. Jones is back through into third place. Doble down to fourth. Then Maguire fifth. Davison sixth. Griffiths is there in seventh place, I think, trying to fend off Ollie Fowler. This is some of the closest racing you will see anywhere in the world, and I stand by that time and again. People ask me why it is that I love this championship so much. Well, this is why. It's super competitive, it's clean for the most part as well, crucially, and really, really high level of competition throughout the field. Side-by-side racing, wherever you look, sideways racing, in fact, wherever you look through Redgate Corner there, lots of wayward lines being taken by some of our drivers in the middle of the top 10. The two we're focusing on there are Will Davison and Paul Maguire, side by side down the grain of curves. We've seen a lot of that today. It's a difficult thing to do because then you arrive with all of this speed down at the old hairpin. It's quite a narrow corner that. They're both therefore hold each other up because they have to slow down a bit to allow them both to get through the corner without it making any contact. And so Tom Griffiths sees his opportunity to draw alongside as well. Someone's off. That is... who's that's gone off down at the bottom? Oh, it's Gareth Claydon. So he's beached himself in the gravel, I'm afraid, down at the old hairpin. That may require a safety car. Let's wait and see. They might be able to deal with it under live snatch, which would be better because we don't really want this race to be put on ice because it's been pretty spellbinding stuff so far from our front runners here. The top two, remember, still Matt Parks and Stephen Daly, getting away from the rest of the field now. So the battle pack behind is getting bigger and bigger, it seems, every time we look at them. Reese Claydon in here now, Guy Davis there, the white car just behind the red and white of Keith Towers. David May there as well in the number 93 car. Paul Maguire, by the way, is the Masters leader at the moment in this race, so he's running in, what's that now, 5th position overall. Drop down the hill again into Redgate Corner. Fowler has a look at the inside of Will Davidson. That was a nice move. Will didn't really see that coming, didn't cover the inside line at all. Fowler still hasn't made it stick on the exit. Look, they're still side by side down the crane of curves. And Reese Claydon might sense an opportunity to join in the fun as well here. Down the hill they go again. Maguire 5th, 6th for Griffiths, and then the battle for 7th sees Fowler come out on top actually, with Reese Claydon now diving up the inside as well. And that was opportunistic stuff there from the treble 6 driver, who started 9th on the grid for this race. So he's made some progress already, continuing to do so now as we go into the middle portion of the race. Out to McLean's go the race leaders there, Parks and Daly. Everybody else following in behind through McLean's. Up the hill again, there's Will Davison, production BMW champion in the past, the number 17 driver, who I think has enjoyed his foray into the Compact Cup this year. Hopefully he'll be back again next season because I think he will become a race winner with some regularity in this championship. He's got all the hallmarks of a regular front runner, just needs to get to learn these cars. It takes a little bit to learn the unique handling sort of characteristics of these cars, what it takes to make them tick. And he's getting there slowly, as on several times. Actually, we can see in that group there, Paul Maguire, another that springs to mind in his first season of racing BMWs. It's 5 for not 1 X5 for the previous few seasons. David May and Keith Towers almost overlapping there as they come into Redgate Corner, and Towers has a little dive up the inside. Wasn't really close enough though. So 2 of our frequent Masters contenders there. They always do seem to get themselves together, don't they? And that is the case once again here at Donington. Speaking of getting themselves together, Stephen Daly is not letting Matt Parks escape here. Parks still leading the way, but Stephen Daly keeping him honest. He's in the tow again as they go through Starkeys and Swans Curve. The hill, and the 38 car just dabbing on the brakes there, making sure he's still got a brake pedal underneath him, having rattled the curbs at the old hairpin. It can sometimes knock the brake pads away from the discs, so they just dab on the brakes a little bit. They're not sort of braking really early. Whoop, off there down at the bottom of the hill. There's another car off at the old hairpin, and that is the 164 car, Tom Middleton, that's gone off. Don't see any damage, so I'm not sure whether he jumped or whether he was pushed, but he will scrabble for some grip on that still quite damp grass to get back on the road on the exit of the corner. Now Stephen Daly having his first serious look here at getting past Matt Parks as they race down into the chicane. Parks flings it through the right and the left though and comes out of the chicane pretty well, so he holds on to the lead for now. But Stephen Daly, I don't think he's going to be content to sit in second place here. He's under no pressure from the cars behind. They've built a nice cushion now over Ian Jones and the rest, who are fighting for third on back. So Daly can sort of afford to have a go at this now, safe in the knowledge that even if they do start holding each other up, it's unlikely they're going to be caught before the end of the race. So maybe as we move into the second half of this one now, that's when Daly will really start to turn the screws here and try to apply the pressure even more so to Matt Parks. The curbs again then, through to the left-hander at Starkey's, and Stephen Daly will be right on board with him again. Almost as close to Parks as he was a lap ago, maybe a car length or so further back, through Schwant's curve, the next left-hander then dab on the brakes, but not a huge amount of braking there into McLean's. It's quite a steeply uphill corner, so you can carry quite a bit of speed in actually, and just the effect of gravity sort of slows you down a little bit. They sail off into Coppice as well, so easy to miss the apex there and run out wide. But they both don't actually both negotiate it well, because off goes Matt Parks. He's done exactly what I said might happen, and he's made the mistake under pressure, just carried a bit too much speed through Coppice corner and hands the race lead to Stephen Daly. Oh, what a shame for Matt Parks, because he was putting up a stout defence there, and Stephen Daly was not having an easy time getting past him. Parks has now conceded the race lead. Ian Jones nearly conceding third position here to Tom Griffiths, who's got himself ahead of Paul Maguire and Mikey Doble, and he's back into fourth place now. Tom's had some real speed this weekend, and it'd be a shame if he didn't get another podium here to show for it. He's up into fourth place now, only one place away from the top three. They head into Redgate once again, with Paul Maguire there in the number 5 car, keeping a watching brief. 4 cars together then fighting over third place. They descend the roller coaster section of circuit again through the Craner curves, drop slightly through Hollywood, then a big plunge through the left-hander at the Craners, and then the last little drop through the old hairpin. Real thrill ride, that sequence of corners, but very easy to get wrong, as we've seen from several people already this weekend. See, they're recovering Gareth Claydon's car there with a live snatch, as I suspected would be the case. So no need for a safety car, which is good news for Tom Griffiths, because he wants to go on the attack again here, trying to go around the outside of Ian Jones at McLean's corner. Ian will never let you go around the outside of him without a fight, but he leaves him just enough room on the run up the hill now into Coppice again. Griffiths carrying good speed in, but needs to be careful. Oh, Jones is sideways, and they both go off the road. Ian Jones couldn't get the car stopped, and poor old Tom Griffiths had nowhere to go. They're both digging their way out of the gravel trap. Griffiths, I think, will recover marginally quicker, but actually Jones gets back on the road in front of him. Well, I mean, there was no contact, but you certainly can't apportion any blame there to Tom Griffiths, can you? He was minding his own business around the outside, and Ian Jones ended up losing the rear of the car on turn-in, and Tom Griffiths, through he went, off they both went, excuse me, as Jones sort of slid out wide, so changes things slightly now. It means that Mikey Doble is back into a podium place, and he's got Paul Maguire right behind him. So as they head through the right-hander and back down the hill again, this is now the fight for third position. Yeah, Fowler in 5th place, and then a gap back to everybody else trying to be 6th. I think Keith Towers might have just got 6th position away from Will Davison, possibly. Change around then as we go into the final part of the race now. And Tom Griffiths will be a little miffed at all of that, I think. No malice in that, as I said, there was no contact between the two of them. It was just a mistake from Ian Jones, but it unfortunately ended up costing them both handfuls of places. So through comes this fight for third then. Daly still leading the way, Parks in 2nd place. And then there's the fight for 6th. And actually Davidson still in front of Keith Towers, with Guy Davis right behind as well, having what must be his best result of the season on the cards here. Towers having another sneaky little look to the inside of Davison into Coppice, but can't get through. Ben Huntley also not far behind them now. I haven't seen much of Ben today. There's another car off there. That's Nick Edmond in the gravel at Coppice. So Coppice corner continuing to catch people out, as it has done all race long. Keith Towers, though, with the headlights ablaze, trying to get back ahead of Will Davison now, whilst also not allowing Guy Davis to sneak up the inside. across the start-finish line, though. It's a big train of BMWs getting themselves ever closer together now. Ben Huntley's bringing Mike Doble Senior into contention. Have we had both Dobles in the top 10 in the same race so far this year? Oh yes, in fact, the most recent race at Silverstone, they were 9th and 10th, the pair of them, with Mike ahead of Mikey on that occasion. They're very evenly matched, those two, actually. It's been Mikey that's been setting the pace in the Doble household this weekend. But Mikey's into the top 10 now, looking to try and progress further up it. The old hairpin again. Davison just getting away now slightly from Towers, Davis, Huntley and Doble. Huntley, unfortunately, again, not the end of the season that he was hoping for. Anglesey didn't go particularly well. He was back on the pace again at Silverstone, although arguably didn't get the results that he will feel he deserved from that weekend. Again here at Donington Park, things just haven't quite gone to plan. They had an engine change yesterday during testing, which has no doubt put him on the back foot a little bit. Ben Huntley will try his best to get to the front of this queue of cars, but it's not going to be easy. Keith Towers has caught Will Davison again through the middle part of this lap, though, so pulls alongside him as they go down the exhibition straight. That's the outside line for the chicane, though, for Heath, who will have to be very brave on the brakes indeed to make that one work. The leaders come through, though, onto the final lap of the season, and it is Stephen Daly that looks as though he's going to take the checkered flag here for the 8th time this year. It's fitting, in a way, that Stephen is going to do the double here, potentially. The first time that he has won both races in a weekend, I believe, this season. He won 2 at Snetterton, but that was a triple header weekend. So the first race was actually won by Tom Griffiths. Ian Jones did the double at Croft, let's not forget, the weekend that Stephen Daly thought he'd thrown away the championship with an accident in race 1 that took him out of both races that weekend. And Ian Jones was able to go and get a double race victory, but it's again a testament to Daly's consistency all year long. He has been able to bounce back and retain the title, despite this being arguably his least consistent season, actually, you could say. But when he hasn't been having non-finishes like he did at Croft, has been rarely off the podium. And a nice little run of victories here towards the end of the season. A win at Silverstone, a win at Anglesey as well, and now 2 wins, it would appear, here at Donington. I'm going to get him over the line first, literally in the race, but also in the points, because he more or less had the championship wrapped up after race number 1. Now it's pretty much confirmed. He comes through the final chicane, and Stephen Daly is going to win the final race of the season in 2019. If that's the last we see of him in this championship, what a way to sign off. A double victory at Donington, a 3rd consecutive title. He is the dominant force in the BMW Compact Cup these days, and he's taken another race victory here to prove it. 2nd place goes the way of Matt Parks, with Mikey Doble getting himself his first podium of the year. In 3rd position, a big scrum of cars across the line there further back, but it was Daly that got the race victory in the end. So Daly with the victory then. Mikey Doble, though, promoted to 2nd place after Matt Parks was disqualified post-race, with Ollie Fowler therefore inheriting his first podium as well. Then it was Paul McGuire and Will Davison, with Guy Davis, Keith Towers, Tom Griffiths, Ben Huntley and Mike Doble to round out the top 10. Ian Jones dropped all the way down to 11th place after his off, then Ray McDowell and Lead Andy Sadler, with Rhys Claydon and Tom Langford rounding out the top 15. Some great racing up and down the order. Nick Edmond was a non-finisher, so too Gareth Claydon. Everybody else, though, thankfully managed to get to the end of what was a sensational final race of the 2019 Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup.
Stephen, a great way to finish the season. Champion, double winner this weekend at Donington. Happy?
Can't get much happier, to be honest. Hats off to Matt Parks. So Matt Parks had me covered for most of that race. He was absolutely on fire. Just a little left-hand rear tyre on the grass, just slid him wide and just opened me up to the opportunity, which was unfortunate because I was really enjoying following Matt for his last race. I wish Matt and his family the best over the next few years. I hope to see him again. It would be an honour to race him again in the future. So
brilliant, and that's it, championship won now. Sit back, relax, enjoy the winter?
Yeah, well, more like save up some money for next year, but we'll see. Not decided on anything yet, but we might end up back here again.
Defend the title once again.
Yeah, well, a lot of the other drivers might have something to say about that, but we'll certainly give it a shot.
Brilliant, Stephen. Congratulations once again, 2019 BMW Compact Cup champion.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
It's a brilliant way to end the season, a bit of silverware, something to take on into next year and something to go away with and carry that momentum forward. I'm guessing, by the way you're talking, you're going to be back in the BMW Compact Cup next season.
I won't say 100%, but hopefully, but I'm more than plan to. And I've been feeling like I'm capable of this position for a long time now, but it's just getting the qualifying and getting it all together at once is what's given me this finish now. So I'm very happy.
Brilliant. Well, keep up the good work. Whatever you've done this weekend is clearly working, and we definitely look forward to seeing you out there next season.
Yeah, so do I. Look forward to it. Thanks.
Brilliant. Cheers, Mikey.
That's brilliant.